My sister and BF betrayed me. I told her fiancé and watched her wedding fall apart. I told her man she was about to marry. No one at that wedding will ever forget what happened next. My name's Lauren Mitchell. I'm 28, live in Portland, and until last year I thought I was a pretty good judge of character. I work as a UX designer for a mid-sized software company. Nothing glamorous, but it pays well, and I like the quiet of it. My boyfriend at the time, Jason Brooks, was 32. He worked in logistics, the kind of job that made him feel important but invisible at the same time. We lived together for almost 2 years. My younger sister Sarah is 4 years behind me. She's always been the pretty one, you know the type. Big eyes, easy laugh, just the right amount of drama to make people lean in. We weren't close growing up. She liked being adored, I liked being left alone. But after she moved to Portland and got engaged to a guy named Evan, we started seeing each other more. Family dinners, birthdays, random Sunday brunches. At first, it was just Jason being friendly. That's what I told myself. He made her laugh, hard, the kind of laugh she used to save for her best friends. She'd touch his arm during stories, compliment his shirts. Nothing over the line, but enough for me to notice, enough to make me pause. I asked him once if he thought Sarah was flirting. He laughed and said, "She flirts with everyone. You know that." And I did, but it still felt different. I started watching more closely. A glance too long, a joke that felt too shared. I couldn't prove anything, but something had shifted, and it was mine to feel, even if no one else saw it. I just didn't know how far it would go. I didn't want to do it over text, and I didn't want it to happen in the apartment, where Jason might overhear, or worse, walk in. So I invited Sarah to a coffee shop near Laurelhurst Park. I picked a weekday afternoon, hoping the place would be quiet. She came in late, sunglasses still on, hair perfect as always. "You look tired," she said, smiling like we were just catching up. I didn't waste time. "I need to ask you something," I said, "and I need you to be honest." She blinked. "Okay." I leaned in. "Are you attracted to Jason?" She laughed, too loud, a deflection. "What kind of question is that?" "I've noticed things," I said, "the way you touch him, look at him." "Oh my God, Lauren." She rolled her eyes. "You sound insane." I stayed calm. "I'm not accusing you of anything. I just need to know if I'm imagining it." She shook her head, smirking like I was a child. "You're just insecure. That's what this is. You've always been jealous when people liked me." My stomach turned. The words were familiar. Old wounds, perfectly sharpened. "You're twisting this," I said quietly. "You crossed a line." She stood up so fast her chair scraped the floor. "You know what? Believe what you want," she snapped. "But don't drag me into your trust issues." She left without finishing her drink. I sat there, palms sweating, heart racing, wondering if I'd just ruined my relationship, or finally seen something clearly for the first time. When I got home, Jason was watching something loud on the couch, eating straight from the takeout container like nothing in the world had shifted. I stood in the entryway for a long time, holding my purse, wondering how to even start. "I saw Sarah today," I said. He muted the TV. "Yeah? How was she?" "I asked her if she was into you." He blinked, confused. "What?" I walked closer. "I asked if you two had something going on. I told her what I've been seeing." He set the food down. "Lauren, she denied it," I said. "But she also made it very clear I'm the crazy one." Jason sighed, rubbing his eyes. "This again?" "This again?" I snapped. "You know exactly what I mean." He stood up. "She's your sister. She's always been dramatic. You're letting her get into your head." "She's not the one touching me," I said. "You are. And I'm telling you, something is off." He crossed his arms. "So what? I'm cheating now with your sister? That's where your head is?" I didn't say that. "But you're thinking it." I felt my breath hitch. "Why are you defending her so hard?" He looked away. "Because you're making this weird." There it was, that word. Weird. Not serious, not true, just inconvenient. I stared at him, this man I thought I knew, and saw a stranger defending another stranger who shared my face. I didn't say another word, I just went to bed, but I didn't sleep. Because now I knew if I wanted answers, I'd have to find them myself. The day I found them, it was warm. One of those rare Portland afternoons where the sun forgets to hide and everything smells like cut grass and grilled onions. Jason was off work. Sarah said she'd swing by to borrow a book I promised her. I'd left early from my office. My manager said I looked pale, and honestly, I felt it. I thought maybe I'd surprise them both with iced coffee and some peace. Maybe I'd overthought everything. The apartment was quiet when I got home. Jason's car was in the driveway. So was Sarah's. I didn't call out, I don't know why. Something in me already knew. I walked around the back, through the side gate, toward the garden Jason had been trying to bring back to life since April. There were weeds, a half-finished trellis, a few chairs we barely used, and there they were. Sarah was in his lap, not just sitting, leaning into him. His hand was on her waist, her lips on his neck, his eyes were closed. I froze. For a second, I thought, maybe I'm dreaming. Maybe this is someone else. Maybe I'm not here. Then Sarah looked up. She saw me, and she didn't even jump. She just blinked, slowly, like she had nothing to hide. Jason turned, followed her gaze, and his whole body jolted. Lauren? I dropped the coffee cups. They hit the ground with a flat splash. My hands were shaking so bad it felt like my skin was trying to leave me. Sarah stood up, brushing her dress like dust mattered. It's not what it looks like, Jason said. I laughed. I actually laughed. A short, brittle sound that didn't sound human. You were on top of him, I said, in our yard. It was a mistake, she said, stepping toward me. Don't, I warned. Jason looked panicked. We were talking. Look, it's not what you think. You think I'm stupid? I said. You think I haven't been watching this happen for weeks? Sarah started crying then. Real tears, or the kind she used to get out of parking tickets. I couldn't tell. I didn't mean to hurt you, she whispered. I turned to Jason. You did. Both of you did. Every time I told you something was wrong, and you made me feel crazy. He didn't respond. I backed away, my heart racing so loud I couldn't hear anything else. You deserve each other, I said. Really, I hope you rot in each other's lies. I walked out through the side gate, didn't run, didn't cry. But when I got in my car and closed the door, I screamed. No words, just sound, raw, broken sound, and I didn't stop until my throat burned and my hands went numb on the steering wheel. Then I drove, anywhere. Away from the people who had my face, my love, and spit it back like it never mattered. I didn't go to my parents, didn't call a friend, didn't even grab a change of clothes. I pulled into a Holiday Inn off the highway and paid for 2 nights in cash. The woman at the front desk asked if I needed anything else. I said no. The room was beige. Everything in it looked like it was trying not to offend anyone. I sat on the edge of the bed for maybe an hour before I even moved. My hands were still shaking. My mouth was dry. I hadn't cried, not since the scream in the car. But now my body was catching up. I laid down and curled into myself, like my ribs could fold in and keep me from falling apart. That night, I couldn't sleep. I scrolled through old texts, birthday messages, inside jokes, Sarah sending me outfit photos, asking which heels looked better, Jason texting "miss you" when he was just in the next room. I saw it now. Every ignored hint, every nervous glance, every time I gaslit myself to keep the illusion whole. Around 3 a.m., I blocked them both. Phone, email, social, everything. I needed silence, I needed space, but mostly, I needed to believe I wasn't crazy, that what I felt, what I saw, was real. In the morning, I stared at my reflection for a long time. My eyes looked older, but there was clarity there, and I wasn't going to let them take that from me. It took me 2 days to dial his number. Evan Haskins, Sarah's fiancé. I'd met him a handful of times, barbecues, birthdays, their engagement dinner. He was quiet, polite, always brought wine no one drank, and remembered weird facts about the Oregon coast. He didn't deserve this, but he deserved to know. I called just after 9 p.m. It rang 4 times. Hello? Evan, hey, it's Lauren. A pause. Hey, everything okay? No, I said, not really. Another pause. I need to tell you something, and I don't want to hurt you, but I won't let you walk into a marriage built on lies. He said nothing, just waited. I caught Sarah and Jason together a few days ago. It wasn't a misunderstanding. Still nothing. I didn't want to be the one to say this, but you need to know before it's too late. When he finally spoke, his voice was calm. Thank you. That was it. No questions, no explosion, just 2 words and the line went dead. I stared at the screen, heart pounding. Was he already suspicious? Did he already know? I'll never know for sure, but I do know this. For the first time since it all fell apart, I felt something close to relief. Like a thread had finally been cut. I didn't go to the wedding. The invitation was still taped to the fridge back at the apartment, under a magnet that read "Family First." I hadn't thrown it out. Not yet. I don't know why. The wedding was set for a Saturday in late June. Garden ceremony. Big white tent. 100 guests, maybe more. The kind of wedding Sarah always dreamed of, with catered sushi, a string quartet, and an Instagram hashtag printed on cocktail napkins. I spent the morning pacing my new apartment. It still smelled like cardboard and paint. I had no furniture except a futon and a folding table. My phone buzzed every few minutes. Texts from cousins, an aunt, even a coworker who'd somehow made the guest list. Are you coming? Where are you? Lauren, are you okay? Around noon, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I wasn't okay, but I wasn't going to be part of that farce either. It wasn't until 3:17 p.m. that someone finally sent me the video. It was Maya, our cousin. No caption, just a file. I hesitated before opening it. The video started mid-sentence. Evan was standing at the front of the aisle. No boutonniere, no smile. Just a microphone in one hand and a folded piece of paper in the other. Guests looked confused. The music had stopped. I was supposed to say vows right now, Evan said, but I've decided not to. You could hear gasps. He unfolded the paper. There's been betrayal, not yesterday, not last week, months ago, between Sarah and someone she should never have touched. The camera shook. Someone whispered, "What is he doing?" Evan looked out over the crowd. I won't humiliate her, but I won't marry her either. He dropped the mic, literally, and walked off. Sarah stood frozen at the altar, veil fluttering like a flag at half-mast. Then she crumpled, not fainting, but sinking, like gravity had finally remembered her name. People scattered, chairs scraped, phones came out, and in the background you could see Jason. Not hiding, not helping, just there, watching it burn. I watched the video twice, and then I cried. Not because I was sad, not because I wanted revenge, but because the truth at last had found its stage. It's been 5 months. I haven't heard from Jason. Sarah texted once, something long and desperate, but I didn't read it. Just saw her name, swiped left, and kept walking. I changed jobs, smaller team, less pressure. My apartment is still half furnished, but I bought a used couch and a plant I haven't killed yet. Some nights are hard. The silence can be sharp. But most mornings, I wake up without that weight on my chest. That's something. I started journaling again, running. Small things that remind me I exist outside of someone else's chaos. Sometimes I wonder if I overreacted, if I could have forgiven. Then I remember what it felt like. Standing in that garden, watching my sister kiss the man I lived with. The sound of paper coffee cups hitting wet grass. That kind of betrayal doesn't ask for healing. It demands distance. A few weeks ago, I ran into Evan at a bookstore. We didn't speak, just nodded, like people who survived a fire in the same building. That was enough. I don't believe everything happens for a reason, but I believe in truth, and I believe in listening to the voice in your gut, even when it makes you feel crazy. If someone makes you question what you saw, what you felt, that's not love, that's control. So here I am, alive, tired, quiet, but free.